So good morning. This is our team meeting here for the 10th of April, 2020. I want to say good morning to everyone. We do have people here from really from around the globe, from various parts of Florida, from Tennessee, from Ohio, from the Philippines, from the great state of Alabama. I see Shirley Bonds there this morning. Good morning, Shirley. Just wanted to say that we have an action-packed agenda today. Please remove any distractions, mute your phones, and be sure to take a bunch of notes, because the speakers that we have lined up here have a lot of great content to deliver as well. So there's incredible synergy being displayed really all across our community, starting with the leadership here in this room. We'll be hearing from Gold Directors Vicki Patterson as she brings us how to build your success step by step, and our special incentive program as well. We'll also hear from Gold Director Matt Wilson as he discusses the importance of acquiring cryptocurrency, building the value of our coin, and developing your business here as well. And if you hang on the call, we'll also have a very special guest speaker as well, who's actually already joined us. For those who don't know me, I'm Gold Director Elite Rob Myotis. My story, just very quickly, Christian believer, and today is Good Friday for those of the faith. Also a former U.S. Navy officer, Desert Storm veteran, father of 4 fantastic kids, and who are a big reason of why I pursue the benefits of this business. So for those who may not be familiar with this project, let me just begin with what I think are our kind of core team beliefs. We believe that ordinary people should have a greater voice and a greater share of the value that they create in society. We believe that the best way to achieve this goal is to build an independent financial system based on the true value of 24-karat gold, married with the decentralized mega evolution of currency, typically called cryptocurrency. Our KBC coin will operate on our proprietary blockchain known as KaratNet. This benefits all of those pioneering affiliates who see the vision of freedom rather than being controlled by a government. And by this means our team members will have full sovereignty over their financial holdings and be able to live free, fulfilling lives. That's what I see as kind of like the basis of this whole system, this whole mission, and the message and the momentum that we're creating in this. So we're looking forward to a fantastic weekend. Buzz is in the air and production is growing. Online private gold receptions are flowing. Teams are starting to duplicate very nicely, and the process of the closing calls are going smoothly, particularly immediately following Martin Thibodeau's live presentations. That's a really quick overview call that happens every day at 2 p.m. Eastern time at wealthcreation.live. And if you have not seen Martin's overview, I really highly recommend that you do it. So it's wealthcreation.live, 2 p.m. Eastern. We've also added online PGRs. Brian, Alfie, and I do one here out of Sarasota live every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Also, new presentations on goldstandardwebinar.com are up. Another great tool that has actually just been produced, Gold Director Elite 3, Joby Gay, has been sharing his really incredible, and Matt, I think you'd really enjoy this, really incredible multi-gold package calculator. It's an Excel spreadsheet that is a great tool to help translate the value and really cast the vision for what this project can provide. It's really crucial that you're familiar with this tool, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's up on the file section of the Synergy Gold Facebook page. And if you have not been invited to the Synergy Gold Facebook page, get with your sponsor, and we can actually very quickly do that. So this past Wednesday was payday. Super excited about that. So a couple days ago, for those folks that bought the kind of like the original version of the multi-packs, the e-points have been retired, and they were actually translated back into euros. And so that component of our commission was actually just loaded onto our Karatbars MasterCard. So that was kind of nice little bonus, another promise that was delivered, and I was pretty excited to see that as well. So just a couple things kind of on the short-term horizon. that will be delivered here very, very shortly. Crypto debit cards. And this is a huge game changer, you guys. Crypto debit cards will be available, I'm told, by the end of this month. Imagine being able to access your crypto holdings from Karatbars from a debit card. This is really a game changer. So there's going to be some more information on that to follow. Another component coming out is the on May the 15th, a fully automated crypto trading bot. This will help us to develop true residual income with a minimum of 5% per month gain. And that's a 60% growth over the course of a year, really without any input from us at all. So when you think about earning income beyond your own effort, this is another component that's being incorporated into the Karatbars universe here. Karat Pay on the blockchain will be happening by June the 1st, and that helps to complete the loop and provide liquidity within our whole gold ecosystem here. The June-July timeframe will be the debut of our security stablecoin on the blockchain as well. And the company is coming out with audited numbers, I believe it'll be monthly, for the physical gold that's deposited in the vault that serves as the backstop or the value for our KBC coin. So again, adding more credibility, more validity to this whole project every single day. So today is the last day of the production month of the Karatbars sales month. We go from the 11th of the month prior, so it would be from the 11th of March to the 10th of April. So what does that mean? That means tomorrow starts a brand new month, brand new beginning, a brand new vision for what your financial life can look like. So the purpose of this call really is to kind of take inventory of our team members who actually want to make a run together in the next 30, 60, 90 days to either qualify or re-qualify as director and beyond. And in that vein, Matt and Vicki and I have kind of created a bit of an incentive. So there will be entries that will be given, entries to win cash gold, and Vicki's going to develop this a little bit further when she speaks. Entries given for cash gold prizes when completing modules in the Gold Rush training, three-way calls, or getting 10 invites out to people to our web-based resources, and Vicki's going to talk a little bit more about that. So to start us off in that direction is Gold Director Vicki Patterson, affectionately known to our team as the Golden Tornado. She is retired from an accomplished career in the Air Force. She's a mom and a grandma, and actively involved in many of the aspects of the leadership of the Synergy Gold team. She's building a successful business and is always willing to help anyone who wants to help themselves in their journey to success with Karatbars. So if we can give a big Synergy Gold welcome to Gold Director Vicki Patterson. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, thank you, Rob. And you know, there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't stop and thank meeting you at that networking breakfast, because that was truly a divine appointment, as one of my former pastors used to say. So, you know, Rob told you a little bit about me. For those that don't know me, I am retired from the Air Force. I did a total of 30 years active and reserve. So if you don't know me, and even if you do, you probably consider me a little rough around the edges. I'm a no-nonsense type of person, and I run a couple of chat groups on Telegram, and if you don't comply, I just boot you, because I don't have time to mess with you know, whiners and complainers and people that can't follow the rules. But like Rob said, I will help you. If you are willing to help yourself, I'll bend over backwards. And whether you're on my team or not. So when I first met Rob, I was actively building another company, And that's why I was at this networking breakfast, because I was representing this other company. However, I'm part of a blended family. My husband and I, between us, have a total of 8 children, including the biological and the stepchildren. And when I first met my husband, he started immediately teaching me and my children the importance of owning physical metal in your hands, the bullion in your hands. So I had been acquiring quite a bit of silver throughout the several years. And then when Rob stood up at this networking breakfast and said, I help people acquire gold in small, affordable quantities, those 2 words, small, affordable. Has anybody ever walked into their local coin dealer or their local pawn shop and plunked down a stack of $100 bills and said, I want an ounce of gold? Probably not, because most Americans can't afford the nowadays $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 to do that. But I knew it was important. So when Rob said small, affordable quantities, my antenna immediately went up. I made a beeline for him after the meeting, and I signed up a couple days later. And my intention was to only be a customer. And I think it's important for everybody here to know the story of your leaders, because most of us, that's how we started. Most of us, we didn't start out to, oh, I'm going to build a gold business. I only wanted to be a customer, and I particularly recall a phone call. Rob called me with a bronze director on the line, and they talked to me about building the business. And I was polite, but the way I like to describe it was I stiff-armed him. I'm like, nope, I'm not interested in building a business. I'm happy where I'm at. You know, I'll get my gold once a month and we'll press on. But then things change, and I jokingly say I made the mistake of going to a training in Atlanta. I met the people, I met some of the leaders, I met Stefan Rochelot, I met Mr. Harold Seitz. I got my picture taken with him. I didn't even know who he was at that time, but it gave me the belief, even though I knew, you know, gold is gold, right? But it gave me the belief about the company and about the team that I had associated myself with. And when I came back from that event in Atlanta, I just started naturally talking to people. As a matter of fact, I think she's still on the line. Shelly is on the call here. I called her from Atlanta. She was in that other company with me. And I said, oh my God, Shelly, you've got to see this. You know, I talked her ear off. I put Rob on the phone, and she signed up that day because of my enthusiasm and what I was seeing. So I tell you all this to tell you that it's okay if you yourself are not interested in building a business, if you talk to somebody who's not interested in building a business, because most of us weren't. But then what happens is you see how cool it is and how fun it is and the people, and wait till you hear from the other leaders that are lined up for today, and things change, and that's okay for us to take that right-hand turn. So I want to talk to you briefly about setting some habits and success principles. I do have just a couple of slides that I want to share with you. Not a big hairy deal, but I just want you to be able to see them. So let me go to screen share. No sound, no fancy videos or anything. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Give me a, okay. So this book was recommended to me by a leader from my previous company, and thank you, Shelly. Yes, you did. She closed me on the spot. So for those of you that do want to build a business, I highly recommend this book, The Slight Edge. This and another book are the 2 books that made a huge difference in my success as a business builder. Going on, you know, jot this down, The Slight Edge. It's an easy read, and the reason why I like it so much this is actually, I have it on Kindle form. So as I was reading it, I had highlighted this portion in pink, and I pulled it back up again yesterday. You don't need more how-tos. You need something to make the how-tos work for you. Okay, so this is not a book about, well, first you do this and then you do this. You know, it's not a do. What it is it tells you, it helps you, it steps you through how to use the how-tos. And I loved it. I loved it. Rob, could you please mute the,
Yeah, I'm trying to get that. Yeah.
okay. Yes, and Shelley's saying Audible. It's a good read, whether it's Audible and you're listening to it driving down the road, or you read the actual physical book. So it's how to make the how-tos work for you. And the main principle of the book, of course, I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to obviously read the whole book for you, but it's simple daily disciplines, and that's what it breaks down to. Little things that you can do every day to advance yourself personally, professionally, and in business. So I want to just give a couple of quick examples of things that I have seen just since I've read the book. Is it, Rob, are you not able to mute the other?
Yeah, I thought I got it. For anyone who's listening, if you can mute yourself, because I thought I got that one. I think it's Galaxy 7.
There we go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so simple daily disciplines, and I'd like to give you guys a couple of examples. Here in Karatbars, we have something called auto exchange. I'm not going to embarrass you by asking you to raise your hand, but everybody should be on auto exchange, at least 1 gram of gold a month. Okay, if you can do 1 gram of gold a week, if you can do 5 grams of gold a month, whatever fits for you, but you should at least be on a minimum of 1 gram of gold a month. And so in the parentheses, those are my examples. I have an affiliate who's already retired, already on Social Security, and we got her started, and she set up an auto exchange that she was comfortable with. It's a little bit more than 1 gram of gold a month, but it was only once a month. And she'd been on it for a while, and one day we were talking, and we mentioned, you've probably got enough gold that it's worth the $20 FedEx. Why don't we go ahead and log in and have it delivered? And when we logged into our account, both of us were kind of surprised to see that it was almost a full ounce of gold. And for those of you that know, an ounce of gold is 31.1 troy grams. So, that's quite a bit of money. We were both surprised. We were both excited, but she had done it little by little over time. And so she didn't feel the pinch of, like I talked about earlier, plunking down a stack of $100 bills. Same thing with cash gold. I personally I acquire cash gold on a regular basis, and I just log into my account once a week and just buy little bit. And when the new multi-packs came out, I was able to buy a multi-pack without taking anything out of my bank account, simply because I had enough cash gold sitting there in my account already. So I was able to get a multi-pack and activate all those matching bonuses that everybody's so excited about. I have an affiliate on my team who is just a young, only been married a few years, very young person, early 20s, and he goes in and he gets cash gold, little tiny pieces, a 0.1 gram, or maybe 2 or 3 of the 0.1 grams. A couple times a month, I see him, on my units. I can see in the back office, and he's just getting that cash gold a little bit at a time. And the beauty of that, again, is you don't feel the pain at the time, but then as it accumulates, oh, I have enough money to do this. I have enough in my account that I can get some KBCs or whatever. And so the book also talks to, and it's not just business. If you want to lose some weight, start going for a walk. You guys will hear from the Golden Rock Star here in a little bit. And I know that when I first saw him a couple weeks ago on the Team Huddle call, I went, holy cow, Brian's lost some weight. So I'm sure Brian can attest to that those simple daily disciplines. Yeah, thank you, Brian. And Same thing with college. I finished my college bachelor's degree, believe it or not, 15 minutes at a time. I have a little timer that I use. Can you see that? And I would just study for 15 minutes. My boys were young. And so I taught them that if the timer is running, don't bother mommy, she's working on her school, but they could see how much time I had left. And as soon as that alarm went off, they're like, Mom, I'm hungry. Mom, can I go out and play? Whatever, whatever. But it was it was the act of the discipline of it. So that's what I want to stress to you. I highly, highly recommend that you get the book and apply it into your life. And now I'm going to stop my share and let's talk a little bit about this incentive that we've come up with. So in order to help all of you, because this is our small team, right? Everybody that's on this call is somehow, you're on Rob's team, you're on Brian Cromley's team. So we want to help all of you guys succeed, and really this is the time, to quote the Bible, for such a time as this. So we've come up with a little incentive to help everybody do what you need to do. It's the simple daily disciplines. Nietzsche says, I can't tell you what one person will do, but I can tell you what 100 will do. We are in control of our actions. We are not in control of the outcomes. So we've put together an incentive, and because this call is being recorded and people, will be able to see it later on YouTube, I'm not going to give the links right now, but everybody that's on here, we will have a special Telegram group just for the people that are doing this 90-day run. And we've got some prizes that we're going to be giving away. So the first is, you have the ability to earn a 1 gram card, a 1 gram piece of classic gold, and there's going to be 3 of those. Okay, so right away, boom. Right now, I think that's going for what, $75? So
that, yeah.
Just getting in there. Okay, so that we're going to be giving away some cash gold, at least 15 pieces of cash gold. And the way to do that, the things that will get you an entry is each module of the Gold Rush training. So there's 3 modules: Know Your Why, Getting Started, and then Building Your Team. The Gold Rush training was recently revamped, and it was released, I want to say, the end of January, maybe mid-February. So even if you have been around a while, go back and do it. Go back and do the new one, and each module will get you an entry. So there's 3 modules, 3 easy entries. And then by issuing 10 invitations, okay? So that's not 10 phone calls, that's 10 people that you have talked to, that you've spoken to, that have either said, no, I'm not interested in gold, or yes, I'll take a look. 10 invitations will get you an entry. And then if the person watches the video and you do a director 3-way follow-up, so your 3 directors are right here, Rob, myself, and Matt Wilson. We've got a couple other directors. Brian, if you're available, I'll throw you in the mix. But a director 3-way call will also get you an entry. So we will have a spreadsheet. Every time you do it, boom, 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 you enter your information, and then we will do the random number generator that you guys saw on the Super Saturday that we had a couple weeks ago. Now, one of the things about doing a 90-day run is it's so important. And Katie Reeves, yes, Katie, I don't see her yet, so I didn't want to. Okay, Katie Reeves is also a director, and she's available. And Shirley's on this call. She's a director. We'll get her to where she's feeling comfortable doing that too. But one of the things about doing a run and being successful is having an accountability partner. And I have done these several times, and I find personally that I am always more, thanks Katie, I guess she is. She says, no worries, she still loves me. Thanks, Katie. So you just got volunteered, by the way, by Rob to do some of these follow-ups. So I personally am more successful when I have an accountability partner. I've done some runs with Katie where she was my accountability partner. I've done one with Shelly. She was my accountability partner. And I personally do much better. And if there is a negative consequence for not achieving it, it'll hold your feet to the fire. So I am going to personally put this out to the team. I don't work on Sundays, and I know a lot of people don't. I don't work on Sundays. So of the other 6 days a week, I personally am going to do 5 invitations every day of those other 6 days. So that's 30 invitations a week. If there is a week, and Shelly can tell you this and Katie can verify, if there's a week that I don't achieve it, there's a negative consequence for me. And what that's going to be is 1,000 KBCs. So for each week that I don't achieve 30 calls, 30 invitations, I will personally put up 1,000 KBCs that are also going to go into the drawing. So if you are doing what you're supposed to do and getting some entries, you may end up with some KBCs also. So I'm going to challenge my other 2 gold directors in here, Matt and Rob. You guys tell us what your goals are, and you put up or shut up too. So that's what I have.
Absolutely, yeah.
We are going to, like I said, we're going to have a Telegram group, and one of the reasons for Telegram is A, it's secure, and B, it's one of the few apps that have already been approved and able to be installed on the new phones, okay? So we're going to have a Telegram group for everybody that wants to do this 90-day run and be in on the incentive. And so that's what I have for you guys. I'm super excited. I know that the possibility of giving away KBCs is going to be a huge incentive for me. So, so I'm looking forward to running this thing and making it happen. So, Rob, thank you very much for what you do, and I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. You always add value and great content, and you're actually inspirational. Going back to that incentive here real quick, the other component that we didn't really spend too much time with is getting through the modules of the Gold Rush training. Those have actually all been redone. And I'm going through those myself. I'm like restarting my business again. So I'm thinking in my business that it's just me. Right. I've always said to really everyone in the business here, the most important person in your business is you, right? Because without you, you have nothing. So I've told Vicki and Matt that even if the results of this call is that no one does anything, which I don't think will be the outflow, that I'm going to pursue, my dreams and goals and helping other folks get, financially stable, prosperous, and free as well. So I will definitely match that commitment with Vicki as well in terms of a rising tide raises all ships. I think that's a great standard. So somewhere between 5 as a minimum and even upwards to 10. My goal for a week is 70 invites, and how that breaks out into 6 days as well. So we've got a lot of different web resources from the various calls that we have and plug into the calendar here as well. So with that, I would like to introduce Gold Director. There's a Gold Director Extraordinaire. That's Matt Wilson. I don't know if that's a new rank or not, but I want to put that out there. Gold Director Matt Wilson. Matt's a successful entrepreneur in beautiful Fort Walton Beach, Florida. He's also a U.S. Army vet, dedicated father, and all-around great guy. Matt's analytical approach and detailed understanding of the business are a huge asset to our team, and wish everyone would give a big synergy welcome to Gold Director Matt Wilson. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Good
morning, everyone. I am Matt Wilson, and I got into this business by happenstance. I was meeting with in Fort Walton Beach about the business, and I just like Vicki, I was not interested in joining this business to run the business.
Whoever is not muted, if you could please mute yourself, because we still hear some background noise. Sorry, Matt.
Yes, sorry. So I didn't want to run this business at all. I'd done multi-level marketing, and to me, this was another multi-level marketing business. It wasn't until I showed up at the meeting and someone made one comment that changed my.
Let G mean.
Yeah, there you go. It was one statement that got me into this company, and that was, you know, if you were to take a $100 bill and burn it, and I were to take this money here and burn it, you would have money left over, because this gold would melt and you'll be able to scrape it up and take it and turn it back into money. And that was huge for me. That was a big turning point for me. And I still didn't plan on running the business. I planned on just accumulating gold. But I realized somewhere along the way that I was actually running the business, not because I was going out and following the steps that I was being told to do. I didn't make a list of 100 names and go and contact all those people. And, you know, I think that is an awesome way to run this business. And I think that the setup that they have in the business is perfect, but it didn't work for me because I just don't have that in me to do that, to contact every single person I know. So I started realizing that I was running my business because of the way I was living with it, because I was showing the money. I was showing this gold. And there are simple ways to get people involved in this company without actually having to go out and make the list and contact everybody and really try to sell this. A lot of times, all you have to do is pull out something like this coin. And no matter where you are, you just hold it and play with it, because somebody's going to ask you about it. Or your phone. Just pull this out of your phone. Nobody has this in their phone. You can take it out, mess with it. Somebody's going to ask you about it. And when somebody starts asking you about it, now you have the ability to tell them what they're asking about. You're not approaching them, they're approaching you. So you want to give a little bit of information, not the whole thing, because at that point, they're going to turn you off. So if you can't make the step-by-step and go out and call people, then make people come to you. Pull this out and just start messing with it, because somebody is going to ask about it. They're going to be like, hey, dude, like, what is that? Well, this is gold. That's it. I don't have to say a word, because the next question out of the mouth is going to be, where did you get it? And then I'm going to tell them. And you don't have to know every single thing about this business. This is why I have Rob. This is why I have Vicky. And, you know, these guys, I can call them at any time, and I don't just get a short answer. I get like in-depth information, and it's never too much to call them and ask them. And it's the same thing with all the leaders in here. You can call and say, hey, you know, can you talk to this person, because they're interested in this business and I don't know enough about it yet. So it's important to know that when you talk to somebody about this business, you don't have to convince that person that they need to go out and sell these coins, or they don't need to go out and sell. All they have to do is bring this into their lives. You can take this and leave it as a tip, and somebody's going to ask you. And if you don't think there's value in this, if you have a $5 bill, you have this, and you want to leave it as a tip.
You guys,
Mark
you guys,
Kenneth, can you please mute yourself
Mark,
out?
Yeah, can you mute your microphone? You can take this, you know, if I have this and I have a $5 bill, generally I want to leave the $5 bill. Why? Because I find more value in this. It's gold. So for me, you know, just knowing that I'd rather spend the $5 bill than this tells me there's value in what I have. I want to read something to everyone. This is really going to hopefully put things into perspective. According to a study of 775 fiat currencies, and fiat currency is cash, there is no historical precedence for a fiat currency that has succeeded in holding its value. The average life expectancy for a fiat currency is 27 years, with the shortest lifespan being 1 month. Founded in 1694, the British pound sterling is the oldest fiat currency in existence. At a ripe old age of 317 years, it must be considered a highly successful fiat currency. However, success is relative. The British pound was defined as 12 ounces of silver, so its worth is less than 1/200th or 0.5% of its original value. In other words, the most successful long-standing currency in existence has lost 99.5% of its value.
Wow.
Whenever fiat currencies collapse, precious metals such as gold and silver have pretty much always maintained as good hedges against inflation and economic recession. Judging by the current fiat currency situation, the future of money looks best in the hands of precious metals, blockchain technology, and asset-backed cryptocurrencies are also on the rise of interest in this digital age. So, whereas the dollar keeps going down in value, gold keeps going up in value. If you study history, and there's a saying, those who don't study history are damned to repeat it. And if you don't study history, you won't know that the dollar is losing its value every single day. And with what's going on right now, the government is printing $2.5 billion to get the economy back. And just like anything, at the time of this event, it's a good thing. It's going to help our economy. But in the long run, it's going to kill money. It's going to kill fiat currency. And if you don't have gold, and if you're not collecting gold every single month, you're going to regret it. So it's very important that you, as people in this company, it's important for you to collect that gold. So I'll leave that alone. But I really want to focus on how to get other people in this business. If you can't follow the pattern that has been created for us, then start bringing this into your life so that everybody can see this and ask you about it. And there's your in. Brian Cromley, can you lower your camera a little bit, sir? Brian has a necklace that I've never seen it until I met this man. And that is a perfect, those are your, these are your 1 gram of gold, 5 grams of gold, and 2.5 grams of gold, and he had it made into a necklace. It is a perfect, it's a perfect item for somebody to go, hey, where did you get that? And I mean, he wears it everywhere he goes. Every time I see him, he's got it. He leaves it out. He's got a t-shirt that says Karatbars, but that's not going to catch my attention like that gold around his neck. So again, if you don't have this coin, I mean, I don't know if you can see this. If you don't have this coin, it's in the back office. Buy it. I promise you, it is great to walk around and just play with because people will ask about it. Every time I pull it out, somebody asks me, where did I get that? And I tell them. And it's a perfect opening for someone to get into this business. And all you have to do is create them as a customer, tell them to start buying gold, and tell them to buy one of these and start walking around with it. And they won't have to promote the business. It'll be promoted through their hands. Also with the phone. Same thing with this phone. Nobody's seen this phone, right? So this is a simple process of getting people into your company without having to go through without becoming a salesman, because not everybody is a salesman, but everybody is interested in odd items. Anything that you have that is considered odd, this is not odd to me anymore, but anything that you consider odd, you start asking about. If I were to walk, this is silver. If I walked in and was sitting at a restaurant, I pull this out, somebody's going to ask me, man, where did you get that? That's a $100 bill that's made of silver, right? Well, I don't want to try and sell them silver, but I will talk to them about the gold and about cryptocurrency. So if anybody wants any more advice on that, you can contact me. I have a Facebook page through Synergy Gold, and you can contact Dickie or Rob, and I'd be happy to give you more pointers on that. So, Rob, I'll turn this back over to you, sir.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, saving gold, right? That's the basis of that's the foundation of our company, the foundation of really any strong economy in the world. So saving gold calls out to people, right? It's part of our language. It's part of our culture. We know intrinsically as humans that gold has real value, right? We say silence is golden, right? We have the golden rule, right? Treat others as you would like to have them treat you, right? The fastest swimmer, the fastest runner, the strongest guy, they win the gold Olympic medal, right? We know that gold has value because you just can't create it out of thin air like the governments do around the world, either in a digital format or in paper format as well. I've got a video on my Facebook page that shows the U.S. Department of Printing and Engraving printing $100 bills, sheets of $100 bills, just about one every second. And this is just one of the many printing presses that are out there. And what do you guys think here, especially in the US? What do you think is going to be the impact of 2 trillion? That's the number 2 and 12 zeros, right? 4 commas. What do you think the impact of that's going to be as it floods into our economy? So this whole coronavirus thing is not just about getting people treated and getting them back healthy again. It's trying to make our economy healthy again, because that has a huge impact as well. So my call to action here is, who wants to make a change in the next 30, 60, 90 days? We need to plug into the resources that are made available. Seeing is believing, I've heard, right? So see for yourselves the change that this business can bring to your life. Hang out with the people who are making good. That's one of the reasons I moved to Sarasota in the first place, is to be coached and mentored and to hang out with Brian and Alfie and the other leaders that are down here. The energy that we have here in Sarasota is off the charts. And I understand that these are challenging times and it's difficult to really kind of get together, but we're connecting via Zoom, on the team huddle calls, on the daily presentations, and our group calls like this. Friends, we're at a crucial time in history now. We hold the keys that can unlock the shackles. This is to my heart here. Unlock the shackles of economic slavery, where thousands of our friends, family, and soon-to-be partners. So who's ready to run for a limited time, right, with focused effort and determination? I know that it's a time for us to refocus and run with a team that I know that can help succeed. Who's with me? Connect with me directly after this call to take the next step. So, okay, you've heard what we've got going on here and how it can help people around the world. Let's lock arms together and make it happen. So with that call to action, I'd like to introduce a gentleman.
We love you, Rob.
This guy cracks me up every time. Gold Director Elite 3, Brian Cromley, AKA the Golden Rock Star. Coach, mentor, and true life example of a guy who worked his butt off and created a huge success in this business. He's one of the top income earners in Karatbars, Rolex and Mercedes winner, but more importantly, he's willing to help you achieve those things and many more if you want it bad enough. Please give a warm welcome to Gold Director Elite 3, Brian Cromley.
Wow. Thank you, Rob. Man, that was touching. I'm very, very humbled to be here. I'm assuming, Rob, you want me to kind of just share my story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, the accolades and everything are great, but it's hard to tell someone's story when you really want to tell your stories. But one of the things you guys got to realize is we're all going to come into this business and industry different ways. And the reason I'm in it is because 25 years ago, somebody drew a circle on someone drew a circle on a page, and they said you got to have the progression of a worthwhile defined dream or goal. And I had lost my dream, and I knew it. So if you're on here and you've been dreaming about creating change in your home, change for your family, define what your dream is. Make it so crystal clear And all of us are dreamers. Everybody wants to have something better for themselves in their lives, but you got to be hungry. And I was hungry for it. I was hungry for change, and I knew that the world was telling me something different. My background, I'm originally from Akron, Ohio, so the Ohio and OH. Love to have you on. I grew up in a very small community. Spent 8 years in the United States Marine military background, like Vicky and Rob, and then I got into the financial world, and I saw a lot of changes in it, and that's where I got introduced to the wonderful world of networking. Like Matt, at the time I wasn't looking for the business when Karatbars came into my life, but I fell in love with the networking arena because of time freedom, family freedom, monetary freedom, travel freedom, spiritual freedom, and personal development. I love, 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 love what these three leaders are sharing with you guys. Personal development. Personal development is one of the key things because it helps you always think about the dream. And you got to ask yourself, is your dream worth fighting for? Is the dream that many of us have put on the shelves, including me? I'm going to show you what's possible. And that's the great Les Brown says, anything is possible. When you look down at this table right here, that's about the size of what I started with, a 10 by 10 tent. So I don't care where you are in the Philippines, the United States, Canada, the US. I started in a 10 by 10 tent, but I was hungry. And I mean, I was super, super hungry. Right now, I'm starving because I want to make and bring as many people to freedom as possible. But to go from a 10 by 10 tent 6 years ago, sharing this with 32 people that, just like Matt, just like Vicky, I only wanted to be a gold saver initially. Because I spent 10 years in the health and wellness industry, and I spent 10 years with a company called Prepaid Legal. Great companies, great people, great leadership. But everybody and their brother had the next best weight loss product. Everybody and their brother had the next best energy drink. And trying to sell legal plans to people was very difficult, but it worked good with the insurance industry. But to make a long story short, then all of a sudden, I got the phone call like we all get. But I had happened to known this person for over 20 years. And I told her no for over 17 years. So if you're somebody that's on this call and you told that person no, congratulations. I told my sponsor, Nitsa Nakos, no for 17 years, 8 months, and 23 days, over 1,000 times. Brian, I'll get some. I got to share. No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. No, good luck, good luck. And I watched her have tremendous success. But February 29th of 2014, my life was transformed and changed that day forever. I never forget it. I'm always grateful. And I'm always thankful because she dug down and believed in me when I was down and out. I was down to my last $200. I didn't own a car when I started. I took taxis to meetings. I rode bicycles to meetings. I was a broke guy. I was poor, so poor that I couldn't afford the O and the R. And I don't know if that makes sense to any of you, but I was really in a really bad, dark, deep area. Why am I telling you this? Because number one, I'm transparent. What you see with me is what you get. I'm a real person. I'm a real everyday guy, just like you that's went through adversities, just like you that may went through struggles, just like you that's reaching and striving and persevering and wondering, can it happen to me? Absolutely, yes, it can. She said, hey, do you like gold? And I at that time, I was like, I love gold, but I can't afford an ounce of gold. I can't afford a kilo of gold because my mindset at that time was the ounces, kilos, and tons. She goes, no, Brian, it's in small little itty bitty nuggets. I had my wow factor. I had my aha moment. I knew right at that moment that if I saved gold in small little increments over periods of time, little amounts of gold can become a lot. And every time I would save it a gram, 31 times, that created an ounce. I did that 35 times, that created kilos. 6 years later, not only have I been able to save many grams of gold, my entire family, every single person I love, care, and cherish the most in my life, from best friends to family members, they all save physical gold. Don't do the business per se, but they all save physical gold. And as a family, as a community of brothers, sisters, mom, dad, we're building a financial fortress in gold. Our legacy is growing exponentially by the day, by the minute, by the hour. And when one thing happens to one, that legacy gets bigger to the next person, on to our grandkids' grandkids who are not even born yet already have a legacy built. And that's what you have here. Been very blessed beyond measure because of this. And one of the things that's helped me is I learned it from one of my great mentors, Mr. Brig Hart. I showed Rob a little bit about Brig. I told him the secret why I've had success in this business. Brig is one of the main reasons I'm in this industry still to this day, because he always said, be faithful with one and he'll be faithful with many. And that may not hit home yet, but it may down in the future. Have covenant with yourself, have covenant with the people that are sharing, teaching, educating, mentoring, and empowering. Have covenant with the higher power, but make the commitment. Greg was a tremendous role model, and he gave me a map. It was called the Maximum Action Plan, and still to this day, I live by the map book. So, and I took that information I learned from him, and I tied it into what I learned from my sponsor, Nitsa Nakos, who I've known for 25 years. And now I've got the perfect storm in team building, team relationship building, mentoring, coaching, educating, and empowering, because we're not in the gold business. I have no interest in being in the gold business. I have no interest in being in the Karatbars business. I'm in the people business. I'm in the people business. What do I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, if you pour your heart, soul, mind, body, spirit into people, the business will come automatically. Understand something. You're in the relationship people business. You empower people, you teach people, you show people, the business comes. And why am I saying that to say this? When I started, I didn't own a car. Last year, I was able to go take the Karatbars pay card and buy a 500 SL. As we're speaking right now, my brand new C300 AMG awarded long-term incentive Mercedes is in Jacksonville. I was a broke guy that earned a Rolex, that earned a Mercedes, that's grown a business to over 60,000 customers and partners around the world in 6 years. Broke over 100 elites in the team, 6-figure plus income earners, retired 7 of my best friends because of this business. And because of that, my dream of living by the water, and I'm actually speaking to you from where I was 6.5 years ago, living in a tent. I want to show you. I now live in a 5,000 square foot penthouse. I just want to show you what's possible. I want you to start painting the dream for you and your families. The dream is real, folks. The dream is bigger than you could ever imagine. Even though we're in this times of crisis and uncertainty, I want to show you something else. It's not so bad being isolated and having to look at this every single day. This is my office. This is what setting a goal, creating a vision, doing the activity behind that goal, leveraging, positioning, creating the choice for your dream, and making your dream now become a reality. And I'm not doing this to boast. I'm sharing with you a heart-filled story. Because if I can do it, a broke guy that didn't have a college education, that was a social promotion out of high school, so can you. The question is, how bad do you want it? How bad are you willing to sacrifice for your goals? How much will you not watch TV, not go hang out with the people that aren't doing what you want to do? Here's the one thing I learned. You are the sum total of the 5 people you run with. You are the sum total of the people you hang out with. You are the sum total of the books you read. You are the sum total of the things you listen to. I eat, drink, and sleep personal development. I eat, drink, and sleep people that are where I want to be. I started hanging out with millionaires and billionaires. Started listening to millionaires and billionaires. Became one of those high net worth earners. Next step is going on. So set your goals, set a plan, do whatever it takes to get there. But remember, you have great leadership. You have a great support system. And in closing, I just want to say, be passionate. Be passionate about what you're doing. Wear your heart on your sleeve. Know your purpose. Everybody's purpose is different. I don't care where you are in the world. I have a team partner over in Da Nang, Vietnam. building his business like a freight train, known for 28 years, sat on the sideline for 5.5 years with this account. Took him a little while because he thought, well, I'm in a country where it's too hard to do. There ain't no such thing as a tough country. It's the tough people within that country that's ready to make the change, make the choice, and have the decision to decide that no more am I going to let my country mandate what I can do and how I can live. He's created the change to go out and accelerate his life and create your own prosperity, and let that prosperity replicate within your own personal economy. And then once you do it for yourself, teach others to do that, so you can create freedom within your home, and you can create freedom in other people's homes. And without that, I want to say to each and every one of you, I am so humbled that you guys asked me to come and share. My name is Brian Cromley. I'm a gold director at Elite 3, aka the Golden Rock Star. If I can do this, so can you. May God give you the biggest blessing in your life of abundance, and abundance in every aspect you want. Back over to you, Rob.
And thank you so much, Brian. You guys can see how this guy gets me choked up every time. So with that, call to action, right? Let's put these dreams and goals, all this emotion, all this passion that we've seen and felt over this last hour. We've invested an hour of our lives into this effort. Let's actually create some return from it, right? So get in touch with Vicky, with me, with Matt, with Brian, with Katie, with Shirley, depending on whoever's leading your team. People need us. This is a crucial time, you guys. We're in an unprecedented time in the world economy, not just here in the U.S., but around the world. People are suffering, and through little bite-sized actions, like Vicky, like the slight edge, those little steps over the course of time can add up into a huge summation effect, right? So you can go from a 10 by 10 tent into living in the penthouse, right? Being free from the concern of time and money, and bring as many people along with you as possible. So with that, I want to close real quick. Just say thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you guys. Vicky and Matt, you guys got any closing comments?
I started the Telegram group already, so everybody that's here that I already have contact info, I've added to the group. So if you can add the Filipino group, and anybody anybody can add anybody later on. So this is a full 90-day run. So as you bring on new people, or as your teams watch the recording of this, add them to the group so that they can be part of the incentive.
One thing I just wanted to add is that, and I mentioned this last time I was on, is that Nancy Pelosi had mentioned bringing a digital currency to the United States. So digital currency is coming, it's going to be here, but she wants to do it through a centralized bank, which means the government would have control of our money. If we're going to get into into a digital currency, this is the currency to get into. Karatbars cryptocurrency is the one, because it is decentralized, and that's very important. And those of you who might not understand the difference between centralized and decentralized, call me. I just put my number out there and I'll explain it to you. So you know, it's important that if somebody starts talking about, well, we're going to go to digital anyhow, you need to be able to tell them why we shouldn't go to decentralized cryptocurrency.
Absolutely, and that's a great point, Matt. You know, we all know that paper currency, right, is the money of bankers. Cryptocurrency is the money of the people, and gold is God's money. And this is a very powerful weekend to reflect on that. So let's take a forward step.
Can I say one more thing in closing too?
Sure, of course.
Everybody, we're the vine, he's the branches. You can do anything you want, but you can't do nothing without Christ. And the reason I'm saying that to you, because I publicly share how I feel. This company's not looking for heroes. It's not looking for dead people. We're looking for people that are coaches, mentors, people that are going to stand up with conviction. I'm not always politically correct, but I stand before you. I will never be politically correct because I want to change lives, period. And I hope you feel that passion and conviction within me.
Thank you so much. Let's take all this great stuff and create some positive results for ourselves and for the people that we love and care about. Okay. So with that, keep a lookout on the on the Facebook chats, on the Telegram as well. We've got a bunch of different web resources as well for those who are so inclined. Tune into Martin Thibodeau's wealthcreation.live call at 2 p.m. Eastern time. He does those every single day. The guy's got great dedication, great message, and it's done in about 25 minutes. So it's a great event and great resource to invite to as well. So let's go out, let's make an impact, let's help as many people as we possibly can, and in the next 90 days, make some significant changes in our own lives as well. So with that, I want to say thank you so very much, and this call is a wrap.